Hey guys, so today I met up with a friend that I met, about 4 months ago here in San Diego. He's a viewer subscriber, and when I first met John, he was very interested in getting into living on the road and trying to figure out a way to make it happen for himself, and trying to come up with a business plan where he could have some way of working on the road, and really just in the stage of figuring it all out. And I just re-met up with John today. It's only been almost 4 months since the last time I saw him, where he was basically living out of a car and trying to figure this out. And now we're going to introduce what he's doing now. He's figured it out and he's living on the road, and I'm very inspired. When he pulled up in his new vehicle, I just got excitement in my heart. It was so awesome. And you know, one of the things you'll see about John when I introduce him is he was fired up to start with. Even when he was living in his car, his excitement, he knew that he could do this, and it's just amazing to me. This is why, one of the main reasons why I make videos, to inspire people to believe that they can make this happen no matter what their situation. So we're going to introduce John here. John, how's it going?
Hey Brian, how are you?
And this is your friend here.
This is my my little co-pilot.
Nice.
I like to call her. This is Lucy.
Lucy.
Lucy's actually 18 years old.
Wow, 18.
Yeah, and she's healthy, very healthy inside.
Yeah.
She can't see very well or hear, but other than that, internally where it counts, she's very healthy.
She's a little sweetheart.
Yeah, she's
she
my
really
baby.
is. Okay, so John, let's go ahead and talk about when we first met. When I met you down by Mission Bay in San Diego, it was around January of this year, so just about 4 months, a little over 4 months. You pulled up in a, what type of car?
A Toyota Yaris.
A Toyota Yaris, which is pretty much the smallest sedan
car. That's for Toyota.
Okay, and you drove out to San Diego from where?
From Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah. And you were basically living out of that car.
I was.
Yeah. I'm kind of bummed I didn't get any footage, because we'd be able to show everybody how small your quarters were. But you had it set up. You were sleeping in the front driver's seat with it reclined.
Reclined all the way back.
You had ways to block out the windows. You had a little spot for Lucy.
Yes.
Little place in the trunk to store your food supplies and stuff.
Yes.
And I was impressed with just that. But there was a part of me inside that was like, wow, is he going to really be able to do this? And at that point, you were trying to figure out how to do this, how to make money on the road.
Yes.
You knew you wanted to get out there and travel, and you were a truck driver, right?
I was.
Yeah. So you do enjoy driving. You like being on the road.
Yep.
And what was it? You were talking about maybe selling stuff on eBay, or?
That was one of my first thoughts.
Yeah.
I basically wanted to find something that would go with me on the road, work-wise. That would just, wherever I go, the work goes with me. That was, for me, what I felt would work best.
And at that time, I remember you were talking about possibly getting a little small trailer to tow.
Yes.
Those little, almost like a teardrop, something really lightweight.
I was even thinking I could pull it with the Yaris if it was small enough.
Yeah. So that's where we left 4 months ago.
Yes.
And I thought, geez, you know, I really hope it works out for John. We exchanged phone numbers. So I was looking forward to hearing how it panned out for you. So John texts me, let's see, you text me about, what was today? This morning.
It was this morning.
So John texted me this morning, and he says, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm coming to San Diego. I got a van. I want to show it to you. And I thought, he didn't show me a picture or anything. No. And as you can see in the background, you're in a brand new Sprinter.
I am.
That's cool.
Brand new Sprinter. It's the longest and the tallest that they make, and it's literally the largest van on the market.
Okay. Now, your choice with going with the Sprinter goes hand in hand in what you decided to do to make money on the road.
Correct.
So what are you doing to make money?
So there was a purpose by going with this this type of vehicle. Yes.
So you did your research, and this is one of the things that I try to tell people to do, is if this is something you really want to do. You know, I have people tell me they're married, they got kids, they can't do this. I've met people on the road that are married and have kids, and they're making it happen. I'm a firm believer, if there's something you really want to do, if you put your mind to it, sit down, do your research, get a pad and paper out, work it out, figure out how to do it, and that's exactly what you did.
Exactly.
So you did your research, and what did you come up with to make money?
Well, I decided to use a little bit of my background as a truck driver. Obviously, like you said, I enjoy driving, and of course I, enjoy doing that kind of work, and decided to see if I could downsize that to a van and still do basically the same thing I was doing. And so basically what I'm doing now is I'm doing what's called expediting.
Expediting.
And I'm sure if, you know, there's a couple YouTubers I know your viewers have seen out there of expediters, but I don't think really there's anything out there that really shows a expediter who's also trying to be a nomad or wants to be a nomad and do the, you know, things that you have done and do the traveling you've done and the things you've done. And I found that this is a really good fit. Right.
See, now with the truck driving, it's pretty much go, go, go.
Yes.
It's load after load after load.
Yes.
Now, from what I've learned from John with expediting, he's got a lot of freedom.
Yes.
You can take a time off if you want. You can do a load in the town you end up with where you drop off the load. You can say, you know what, I need a few days and go exploring.
Exactly.
And, like you said, multitask.
Yes.
Not only are you on the road making money,
right,
but you also have the freedom to explore and do the other things that you want to do involved with being on the road.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And when John started telling me about this, man, it just filled me up with so much happiness. It's been 4 months since
I know.
You were like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking of it. And here you are. You got it figured out. And you've already driven how many miles?
It's got about, I think, 8,600 miles
So you've been all over from, like you said,
Michigan, Ohio, Tulsa, Louisiana.
Amazing.
And then I shot out here from Missouri to Phoenix.
Yep.
And that's when I called you I was in Phoenix and was heading in today.
Yeah. So you're making money already.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just you know, and I know, you know, there a lot of people probably like to, how much, you know, would like to know more about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have time in the video, but you know, I know they'll leave comments and you know, whatever. But if they're interested, I'd love to let them know more about it.
Yeah, for sure. And from what John has shared with me, he's making good money. It sounds like a very good way to do it. Yeah. If you're okay with driving long distances and all that, and like
you got to love to drive. That's the key behind it. You got to love to drive. But again, it's work that goes with me. It's work that I can do in spurts. Yeah. You know.
And most importantly, you're not thinking about doing it anymore. You're doing it.
Yeah,
you made it happen.
Right, exactly.
You made it happen.
Yes, and Brian always preaches. And he
just
tells
do it. Just do it, man.
Just to go for it.
Okay.
You know, figure it out. Come up with a basic plan. I mean, you know, you do want to have at least a little something, but once, just whatever it takes. You know, this was a big investment for me, but you know,
it's your business.
It's my business, but it's also, more importantly, it's what is getting me out on the road, and that to start my journey, to start exploring.
For sure.
And that's what really mattered. So
now, and even though that you did have to make an investment and you've got some payments for a little while, you're able to write off a lot of your travels.
Yes.
Your maintenance and all that. So that's something that you wouldn't be able to do with just doing work camping jobs and
Exactly.
So that, I think, is a very much a perk.
Yeah.
All right. So how does he have the van set up? Let's take a quick look. And this is another thing that I really try to preach to people. If you're just really itching to get out there and do it, you know, unfortunately with the internet and all these social media accounts, it's gotten really glamorized, and it's all about having the nicest van build and making it look as much as you can like a home. And that actually, it's gotten to the point now for me where it's sickening. It makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit, because people are spending so much money and so much time on just the build when your van is just a tool. It's just a tool to get you out there to do what you want to do. And somebody like John, he didn't waste all that money and time. He got it set up very basic, and he's out there doing it. He's not saying in another year, in another 2 years, you know, as soon as I save up more money, you made it happen. You did
I literally went to my storage locker and just looked at what I had, and I just pulled from what I had in my storage locker. The only thing I bought was a battery-powered little fan.
Right, that's it.
That's about it.
That's all you bought.
Everything in that van is all stuff I just pulled from storage. And I can tell you one thing: I'm sleeping on a real
You've
bed.
got the nicest bed I've ever seen in a van. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
So,
and this is the longest and the highest roof that you can get.
It is, yes.
Okay.
Longest and highest.
So it's a 2016.
It is.
Mercedes 2500. We'll take a quick little walk around. It's beautiful. And it's the 6-cylinder diesel.
It is a 6-cylinder diesel, not the 4.
No windows.
No windows, all the way around.
Cool, so let's go take a look. So if anyone doesn't know what expediting is, it's basically a lot like what a truck driver does. You're basically bringing goods from one place to another location, except with expediting, it's basically just smaller loads.
Correct.
And we'll get to about how he handles that. But first, we're going to look at where he's sleeping in the van.
Yeah, my living quarters.
Yep, living quarters.
All right.
And as you can see right off, this is what size mattress?
This is a full size.
It's a full.
Yeah.
But it is a real mattress with box spring.
Yep.
So you're in comfort when you sleep.
Yeah.
You're not.
I sleep very well,
right.
and that's very important.
Yeah.
To get a proper sleep when you're doing what I'm doing.
And because of your approach, you're okay with this evolving. You didn't need it all set at once.
Not at all.
You just needed to get going.
Yes.
So he's got a comfortable place to sleep. He's got his clothes, some storage, and because of the nature of your work, you're staying at truck stops most of the time.
Most of the time. Most of the time. I'm hoping to, as I talked to you earlier,
right.
I'm hoping to. Again, my goal here is to get more like doing some BLM, type.
On your downtime when you're not delivering.
Yes, exactly. So, but yes, while I'm actually active for the most part. Yeah.
And this area here from the back of the seats to his curtain is what, 7 feet?
7 feet.
Which is basically the same size as my van.
Yes.
So with his van cut in half, or
pretty much less, almost in half.
Just about in half. He's got the same living quarters. Of course, he's got the height as well. And I think you're probably a little wider as well. So you've got a comfortable place to sleep, and you were saying you've got a little table here?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to come in from that way, you get a better, but that's a table which folds out, just a little TV tray table, and I put it in the corner. It fits perfect. There. And I sit there when I'm on my computer.
Work on your laptop.
Yeah. Cool. And then, as you can see, I got these had these hangers that they turn on the top, so I can just hook them right
in there perfectly.
And I know that's a pretty common thing, the bungee cord with the paper towel, and hooked my water sprayer. The reason why I have this stuff up on the bed that you see here is for this little one.
Lucy.
She doesn't see very well, and I worry at night if she gets up, I don't want her falling off.
Yeah.
So normally, of course, I have that probably down here on the floor. I do have some stuff down there right now.
And that's also why you went right up against the door.
And that's also because, the little step here, I didn't want her falling down into the step. If people are wondering why, I kind of chose this layout, at least for now.
Okay.
There's the fan I bought.
Yep. Your one purchase for the van build.
$20 some purchase, I think it was.
And you just got a set of curtains dividing your back.
Got those at Target for $20.
Okay.
And they have all kinds of, got the gray to match, and just to give a dividing part there.
So let's take a look in back. This is where he's sleeping, and like you said, he's just starting out with this. So right now it's about getting that savings account built back up, getting ahead. So he's doing his expediting, and when he gets to the place where he's comfortable, he'll be able to use this a lot more for recreation stuff.
So here's the back end, or back part. So I call this is where my income.
Yep.
This is what makes me my income.
This is the money maker.
And it doesn't look like a lot because it's just a blank spot, but I can slide 2 pallets, wooden pallets, skids. Some people refer to them as skids.
Yep.
That's generally a requirement from most expediting companies, is that you're able to fit 2 in there.
At least 2.
And that's common, 1 to 2. You can do 3, and even these vans can even do 4, but of course then
you wouldn't have a
living area,
space.
and that was very important to me.
Yeah.
So I did the 2, 96 inches, and then like you saw, the rest is living quarters. So and these wood rails I just put up real quick. Nothing too fancy. I just wanted to protect my wheel wells. When they're pushing the skids in, it gives me a little bit of place for a little bit of storage. Like, as you can see, I've already put the water bottles there in my toolbox.
And just to give you an idea, this is the highest roof that the Sprinter has. I am 5'11", almost 6 foot, and I've got, what is that, almost a foot?
Oh, easy.
About 10 inches.
10 inches.
So it's definitely got the height. And just a little bit about how expediting works. So you're in San Diego now, so you'll basically hang out here till your dispatcher or your company has a load for you to pick up here.
That's correct. Yes, yes.
So,
and it could be going anywhere.
Right.
And it could be any distance.
Right. So you were saying there was a possibility of maybe going from here to all the way to Massachusetts?
Yeah, they had a load they were working on from San Diego to Massachusetts. Now that's obviously a very long, it's 3,000 miles.
Right. And expediting does mean quickly.
It means getting it there, usually, pretty quick.
So a long trek like that, you wouldn't necessarily be able to do a lot of exploring on the trip, but once you got to, say, Massachusetts, you could take a few days off and really explore the area on the East Coast.
Exactly, and I could even go outside of that.
Right.
If I really didn't mind, you know, with the gas money and just, you know, I could go the next, all the little states up there I could visit.
So the company that you work with is they're willing to work with that. They're not go, load after load.
And that's going to vary, I'll be honest with you. So if you're even like starting to Google expediting what this is about, you know, it's there. You really, again, it's going to be depending on who you work for. Some work for several companies to keep them that much more busy.
So they always have a load ready.
So one doesn't have something and another one generally does. But again, these are people that want to stay pretty busy, big money. This is definitely a business. The more you put in, the more you get out.
Right.
As you already probably guessed by now, I'm doing this so that I can get out on the road and, you know, do all the other stuff that Brian has done that I want to do. And this was my solution to making money, income, and be able to do that. And like you said, with being able to just be off when I want to be off, it's brilliant. I think it works good. And although Brian just said that is true. Usually, you know, you're moving pretty quick. When it comes to like weekends, and I'm only using this because this is what I just did. I picked up a load in Missouri going to Phoenix. That was what they call a weekend load. A weekend load typically has an extra day built in.
Nice.
So I was actually able to do 2 stops.
You had some freedom.
Along the way, a kind of more sightseeing thing. I stopped just before Flagstaff and saw a couple of things. And then I shut down right in Flagstaff, and then in the morning I made my delivery.
Nice.
And so, you know, so again, there will be opportunities for me on some of them to not be so rush that I can't stop.
That's awesome, John. And one of the other things I just want to bring home again is the fact that you're doing it.
I'm doing
this
it.
Isn't something you're planning on doing, or you know, it's so awesome, especially because we just met, like 4 months ago, and I'm wondering, is he ever gonna, you know, next time I see this guy is gonna be down and out and hate me because he's living in a car and things aren't working out. Not the case. He made it happen. He did the research. He made the steps, and you are doing it, John.
Yes.
I got to shake your hand.
All right,
you are
buddy.
a huge inspiration. Seriously.
Hey, back at you.
Seriously, man.
You inspired me as well, as I know you've inspired so many of your YouTube watchers, and this man's coming. I know a lot of you are real anxious to meet him, and I know he's you know, coming your way. So drop what you're doing. It's well worth the visit. I've been so fortunate to see him a second time, and his support continues, even, you know, doing the videos, but even in person and beyond. So,
I'll tell you,
I appreciate
it's got me fired up. I've got a renewed sense of, I've mentioned in my previous video, I've been struggling a little bit. Situations like this just get me fired up. I'm stoked. I just hope you guys out there can be inspired by this story as well. And once again, John, thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. And if any of your viewers have more questions specific to this and what I'm doing, whatever, you know, I'm more than happy to. I don't know how Brian wants to do it, but I'm sure he'll tell you. But
we'll get the information to you if you really want it.
I'll do my best.
Cool. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks again, guys.
Bye.
We appreciate you watching. Take
Safe
care.
Travels.
Peace.
And peace.